What's up, Internet? We are here at this absurd hour in the morning, and I noticed there's going to be a little bit of a thing, so I'm just going to modify this. My apologies. I'm normally more on top of this, but I don't normally do this at almost 6 a.m. And I've actually been dealing with a lot of technical issues with this recently, and that should at least be better. Anyway, I've got some bad news about this. Nothing groundbreaking or anything, but I was recording this on the Retro Freak, as I still am, because this is really the best way to get a screen-filling picture like this, with the best clarity of a Game Boy game, because of course, but the problem with the Retro Freak is it works using internal save states to work. Now, you can copy saves from the cartridge and write them back. So for time-related events, I had intended to initially do that. However, I think it saves the clock data to a different memory address or something, because every time I transferred it over, the clock data would not carry. So even though I wanted to do this initially as a sort of time-based thing in real time, I don't think that's necessarily going to work, or if it is, it's going to be a little bit more sporadic and random than I had initially planned for, and I apologize for that. Pokemon Crystal at 5:30 a.m. Let's go. Now, we are here at the first game, which, unlike the first Pokemon game, which was a horrible mismatch of elements involving things you couldn't really defend yourself against, this time it's birds. I can deal with birds, and the nice thing is, no matter what you pick, you're not completely screwed out of the gates. So, you know, small victories. We will use Ember. Now, I also recently came across some rather unfortunate information. Now, it's no secret that I've never played Pokemon Crystal prior. I had Silver back in the day. But I got Crystal because it was, to my understanding, this was essentially a combination of pretty much all the best parts of Gold and Silver. And while I don't go into these really planning my team or anything, I just go with what sort of falls into my lap, I had, unfortunately, run into a problem where I was looking at monsters earlier, and it turns out one of my favorite Johto monsters, like one of the few ones I would actually like actively ahead of time consider maybe using just because I like it so much, not available in Crystal. And I'm sad about that because pretty much all the really fun Johto monsters don't show up until like halfway through the game, and that sucks. I was gonna catch a Mareep. I was gonna name it after a Philip K. Dick reference maybe, if I ran into one. I'm sad about that because I really like Mareep and Ampharos. But alas, it was not to be. And now I'm even more confused as to what the hell I'm going to be using for my team. That said, I do know there's a couple of gift monsters you can get later, so maybe I could use them or something, at least as a holdover until I find a better team or something. But that's really the bizarre thing about this game, and I've said it a couple times, but really the fun and interesting monsters that were introduced in this particular generation of Pokemon didn't really show up until, like, the second half of the game. And it's weird they kind of did that. Like, I'm not against them reusing old monsters to fill out the roster. In fact, I kind of like that for a throwback to what you're used to and to sort of lend continuity to what you're doing. But it just feels a little bit weird that all your new stuff is just so far away from the start. I think they could have evened it out a little bit more, maybe. But as it stands, I have no idea what I'm doing anymore for my team. We might go this entire game just with Sin here. I don't know. Hey, it's Falkner, owner of the Discount Troy Barton haircut. And without the awesome Heavy Arms mobile suit. I think he got the raw end of that deal. No, Faulkner, you need it the other way. You need the mobile suit, then the haircut. That's what you gotta do. But, alas, we're gonna fight Faulkner, who uses birds, which is not really a problem. And I think we have berries and potions. It's been a week since I've last played, because clocks that evidently don't work, so it almost doesn't matter anymore. Oh well. Oh, that's a problem. Oh. Okay, I figured that would be a little bit worse. That said, he's using Brock strats on me. He's trying to lower my evasion so I can't actually kill him. Not a bad plan. But, not super worried about this. Good old Pidgeotto. Also, that monster is way too low level to be an actual Pidgeotto, because Pidgeottos evolve at level 16, I believe. Or 14, but not before 10. I can assure you of that. Now the question is, can I get him before he gets me? I'm going to try and get him without a potion. The nice thing is, I do have speed on him, but if he crits me, or if I miss, that's a problem. And there's Falkner. A nice starter gym leader. Thank you, game, for not doing the stupid thing your predecessor did. Okay, so we just beat Falkner. Awesome. The Zephyr Badge. Named after... Oh, and Cinder's evolving. Badge named after a legendary trainer's famous Pidgeot. We don't know him or anything, but we are getting revenge for him because maybe he was us. Except we were quantumly displaced. Possibly. I don't want to spoil too much. But we got a Quilava. Which I think is an earlier evolution point than the previous game. I think the previous game is level 16 as well. Yay, Flash. We don't have that, and I don't think we actually ever need it either. TM31. Spoilers, it's not as crappy as Bide. I don't even know what it is, but it can't possibly be worse than Bide. Mudslap. Okay, see, that's a viable ability. I don't know if Sin can learn it, and I'm not sure I really want Sin to learn it, but let's just see for the sake. Can Sin learn Mudslap? Yes. Okay, cool. That's it. I think I might hold on to that until it becomes more useful later. Just because I don't want to jump the gun with giving TMs to things. Hey, it's Professor Elm. To the Pokemon Centre. And then we're gonna get stuck with an egg, which I don't think we actually want, but we're stuck with it, so yippee skippy. Okay, guy. Yes, I'll take the egg because I'm pretty sure I don't have a choice. I'm morally obligated to carry this egg for you. And then in, I want to say, 1,400 steps, it hatches. Now, I know there's another egg you can get in Crystal, and I think I might try and use that, but only one of them can potentially turn into a Johto monster. So if that's the case, I might try and hatch that off screen. Just by virtue of, I don't think anyone wants to see me walking around doing nothing for like an hour. Unless that's really what you're into, in which case I'm very confused, but okay. There's another monster we might be able to get that I might have to do the same thing about. Now, this is Sprout Tower. This is a place where you have to fight a bunch of Bellsprouts, I think. Or trainers using Bellsprouts or something. The tower's designed with Bellsprouts in mind. That's why it's got a big wiggly pillar, which is a structural problem, people. Okay, Nico, let's go. Oh, also fire type, not really scared of you. Also, level advantage, not really scared of you. Yay, more experience for Sin. I think you were actually supposed to do this before you fight Falkner, but I don't even think you have to do this, but it's a thing you should do to get Flash, I think, which, again, is not a thing you need, but I think the only time you need Flash is in that one cave that is Wobbuffets. And if I'm wrong about that, I guess we're going to be wandering around trying to catch something to teach Flash to. I guess for the sake of using HMs, I will use Kanto monsters, but I'm not going to use them in combat. But that's just out of sheer, I don't want to wander around forever looking for a monster I can use just for HMs. Like, that just seems like a waste of everyone's time. What do we got here? I'm still surprised this game does not have Mareep in it. Seriously, how is that a thing? You should totally have Mareep in your game, because Mareep's awesome. It turns into Ampharos, which is like a lightning dinosaur. Although that said, it does have both Skarmory and Gligar, which are really cool monsters. Having Silver back in the day, I was really kind of jealous I never got a Gligar. And Skarmory is one of the biggest pains of the ass monsters you can catch, but it's a really fun monster as well, from what I remember. Although I'd never used it very much. I think I was just bitter about how hard it was to catch, because even though it is basically a normal monster, it has like an absurdly low catch rate. Like, it's basically legendary level in terms of how hard it is to catch. Sage Chow ate dinner. No, wait. There was a better way to tell that joke. Oh well. Okay. I'm defeating your salad, Chow. Bring on the main course. Possibly a steak. Ooh. That'd be really good right now, actually. Steak is delicious. Although I'm weird about steak and like barbecued meats and stuff. I like stuff really well done. I know that's like objectively wrong, but that's just how I do things. You're welcome. Thank you for the endless supply of salad. You weird vegetarian trainer. Also, that's an awesome statue. I don't know if there's more on the other side. We could walk around and see. It's an all-you-can-eat salad bar. Slad. See, the problem is, though, I'm going to run out of Ember before this is over. I mean, I've got levels. I shouldn't even need Ember, but I just feel more comfortable using it. Now, the problem with us having a monster significantly higher level than the rest is it's going to be hard to catch things as well. Because we're basically just going to either like just use tackle and hope we don't murder whatever we're trying to catch, or we have to like just Hail Mary with Pokeballs and hope we get something out of it. And that's the problem with like single Pokemon runs. Like, it's a thing you can do, but it's got problems as well as advantages, especially in this game, simply because there's a ridiculously high level trainer later. Like, Phaphimon was pretty high level in the previous game, but there's someone who outshines him, and I'm pretty sure he's the highest leveled trainer in the entire series. So that's gonna be fun to try and fight. Oh, there's an item. An X accuracy. If this was Gen 1 Pokemon, we could apply that to a monster with an instant kill move and hit every single time. Or use it when a monster uses Protect and kill them instantly. I don't know, I kind of like the way they looked in the first game, where they were just a mist cloud instead of like a ball inside a mist cloud. Something about that just... I don't want to say it cheapens it, because it's not really what I want to say about it, but it just loses some of the coolness to it. There's less mystique around Gastly now. Up the stairs. And a Patreon. Now, who wants to bet these guys all have Bellsprouts? Me, I do. Because I'm pretty sure that's very much the case. Maybe if we're lucky, one of them will have like a Weepin' Bell. But I don't really think it's likely to happen. Okay, so your little wiggly pitcher plant thingy. I've seen pitcher plants. They are not that strong. They tend to die on their own even when they're thriving. But carnivorous plants in general are just weird because, like, take a Venus flytrap. You can feed it flies and that's about it. You can't take, like, ground beef or anything and substitute. You have to use flies or it just dies immediately because of, like, ammonia and acid levels in what it absorbs. And I know this, of course, because I worked in a greenhouse for a decade and a half. But, having seen people try and grow, like, Venus flytraps and having had to take care of them and pitcher plants while I was working there, they die even when they're thriving. They're just kind of terrible. They'd be great in the rainforest where they come from because there's just an endless supply of bugs, but in a place that's a little less infested, it's not as useful. Although, that said, it could be potentially useful as like a deterrent for like getting ants in your house, maybe. Not a Venus flytrap per se, but a pitcher plant, because they work by releasing a sweet scent that causes ants to walk into them and then get stuck. Although that said, out of all the weird plants, I've never really understood the Rafflesia plants. Those ones are weird because they release a scent that's basically like rotten meat, and I think it attracts flies that just end up dying around it, and it just sort of feeds on their remains or something. Hey, you're cheating! That's not a Bellsprout, asshole. But it doesn't matter, because my spiky mohawk-fired rat thingy of revenge will cut through you just as easily. But, yeah. That might be the most, random monster we run into in here. Oh, you've got a flying type. That's weird. Oh, hey. It's that jerk. I remember him. And I remember him from a different lifetime, too. You're mean to your monsters, you jerk. Fight me, then. And then you run away. I think we're going to carry that escape rope for a while, because I think it might be more useful later than now. The final test in Bellsprout Tower is probably a guy that uses Bellsprouts. I'm just hazarding a guess here, though. Shocker. Your wiggle plant does not scare me, old man. For I too am on a quest for revenge. And I'm anger-filled and dark and edgy and shit. But I actually treat my monsters with respect. All one of them. So I'm a better trainer than that jerk, but... Oh, hey, again, you're cheating, not a Bellsprout. Also not really scared of you. Well, maybe I was supposed to take this after the Gaim, because he's got a higher level monster than Faulkner did. Okay, fair enough. Hooray! Okay, now see, that's a return to form. Your strongest leveled monster isn't even the Bellsprout, that's just... Was that just to be a complete curveball or something? Because another guy in front of you did the exact same thing. I mean, at least train up your Bellsprouts better, damn it. Excellent. It's not that I was excellent, it's that you were just crap. Oh, hooray, I get Flash. It's infinite, basically worthlessness. I'm gonna end up eating my words. It's gonna turn out, you need Flash to get here. Ah, crap. Is there a thing over here? There is no thing over here. Alright, let's walk back. Just because, I mean, what's the worst thing? We're gonna run into a Ghastly. Oh no. So scary. Except I've got like, 15 levels on them at this point. It's not even like I'm grinding or anything. This is just kind of sad. Okay. I think we've concluded our business in Violet City. So, I guess we'll heal up and move on. I mean, I guess we could go try and explore that dark cave and, like, catch a Wobbuffet or something, but, no. Let's not do that, because Wobbuffets are dumb. There's some fundamentally gimmicky monsters in all of Pokemon. Wobbuffet is easily one of them. You can do some really dirty stuff with a Wobbuffet, seeing as it's got, like, I think both counter moves that do double damage. Now we can leave to the south, and we can leave to the north. We're going to leave to the north. I think we'll have to backtrack just to do some stuff. An odd tree is blocking the way. It's almost as if this is foreshadowing. Well, hey. You're bad at breaking trees with your hands. It's a wiggle tree! There's a GIF in there somewhere. I don't know what monsters are here. Let's explore. Are there good monsters here? Probably not. Oh joy. Okay, I think we're done in this patch of the world. You know, I'm actually quite interested in how we're going to progress through this, because it's very different from the previous leg in our Pokemon adventure, because episode 1, by the end of it, we had like 3 monsters. And yet, we still only have 1 here. And it stands that we're probably only going to have 1 for a while now. These are the Runes of Alph. They contain a bunch of like mysterious puzzles no one's ever been able to solve. Also, this is a remake of that terrible cave song I hated from the first Pokemon game. Awesome. I think it's a little better, though. I think this is a Pokemon printer thing, because this game is Pokemon printer compatible. Sliding panels. Now look, it's a slidey puzzle thing. Except it's not. It's basically just a thing. Now, all these scientists have been here for a while. They've spent endless amounts of time in the Runes of Alph, and they cannot figure things out. Also, this room is thus far completely worthless. Let me just check my Pokegear for a sec. Okay. I wasn't sure if we had the radio app, because if we have the radio app, it does some neat things in here. But, yeah, so that room is basically entirely worthless. So let's do a puzzle, because no kid could just solve a thing that a bunch of scientists have forever been spending time on. Also, if you're ever working on a puzzle, do the corners first, obviously. Because that's how puzzles work. Because edges make puzzles easy. Unless they're all puzzles of, like, the same color. Like, I once saw, like, 10,000 piece puzzle of a completely cloudless blue sky. It's like, why would you ever do that? Do you find that fun? And if you do, what is wrong with you? Now, I remember when I was a kid, I actually did have trouble with these, but that's because this one in particular has a few pieces that could be swapped in and out, and basically it would look identical. Yeah, see, these parts basically look identical. And then I think I have to put these ones here. Or maybe not. Ah, yeah, see? These stupid things look identical, but it's not inherently difficult to figure out. And I think we do have to swap these back because, again, identical looking things don't make things difficult at all. I think that's it. Is it not? Well, let's puzzle again, because puzzles. Again, start with corners, because that makes puzzles ridiculously easy. Unless stuff looks identical, in which case, stuff's gonna look identical and you're gonna have trouble with it because identical looking puzzles are dumb. Actually, it was probably the top parts that we were swapped around. Alright. Is that an edge? That doesn't necessarily look like an edge. We'll be back for that one. This looks like an edge, though. This looks like an edge over here. That looks like an eyeball. That looks like an eyeball. That looks like that belongs there. I think this thing finishes when you're done, so... I don't think that goes there. Interesting. I'm bad at puzzles, can you tell? No, those definitely go there. That goes there. Unless we haven't done something to properly trigger these yet, perhaps. Nope, those go there. Should be... a connection somewhere, because I'm pretty sure this just ends once you get it done. It's gonna turn out these were the sides all along. Something dumb like that. Or its eyeballs belonged at the bottom. I know what this thing is supposed to be, damn it. Oh, I know what the problem is. Okay, fair enough. I'm pretty sure I know what the problem is. I had the leggy bits mixed up, I think. Perhaps. And maybe the eyes. There we go. That wasn't embarrassingly longer than it should have ever taken. Oh, puzzles. Okay, so we finished this magical puzzle scientists were never able to solve, which, to be fair, I had trouble with it. But I'm bad at puzzles. And now we're back to where we were, this big useless room where nothing was originally. But nothing can have changed since then. Nothing at all. Oh wait, now there's monsters! It's a duck-looking thing. It's, unknown. Basically, every time you clear one of these puzzles, the empty room suddenly gets more and more unknowns, and you need to complete, like, 5 of them to complete the full alphabet of unknowns. But unknowns are basically worthless, so this was just a weird little detour I decided to do because completion! I don't know if I'm actually going to try and complete this game, but, it's the same one. I kind of like the idea of progressively unlocking more and more of these different guys just by virtue of it means you can slowly fill out your collection if you really, for whatever reason, want to collect all the unknowns, but... Oh, hey, we leveled up. Awesome. But, yeah, that was this. There's a few more, one of which we can't get later till we get Surf. I think we can talk to these guys and they'll, Yes, Pokemon have appeared because I'm awesome and you're terrible scientists. And I'm bad at puzzles. Yes, they're letters, genius. Yes, yes, there are. Now, I think if you catch them and you get a special Pokedex for getting unknowns, which you have to talk to one of these guys as well. You can start printing them out and observe the entire alphabet or whatever. But we can't go that way because surf. Now Route 32. Now if we went back north, we'd be in Violet City. But there is this berry tree, so I'm gonna... It's a Priskberry. Also, there should be some dashes or spaces or spell check or something on that. Fight me. Oh no, this is the guy saying, no, you gotta get the gym badge before you carry on. That's a thing you gotta do. Oh good, a thing for grass powers. Awesome. My fire type will definitely put that to good use. It's kind of weird they don't make that relative to your starter's element. And so they just go grass type, because arbitrary grass type. And there's a thing that we need cut for, but we don't have cut. We don't even have a monster that can use cut yet, I don't think. I'm certainly not putting it on my one monster. Because that would be terrible. Silly Rattata, you're too low level to do anything. Ember! I'll give it a good fire attack. I really have got to find some new monsters. This is just kind of sad. Although it does bring up an interesting point of how long can I make it with just one monster? I mean, Cyndaquil is definitely the one you want to pick if you're going to really go with that plan, simply by virtue of it has the best type effectiveness in terms of plot progression. There should be a thing over here. I gotta repel! I don't know how useful that is to us, but I've got one. Gonna fight me too? I do appreciate this girl. She's just staring at a rock wall, doesn't want to be bothered. She's not just looking at you and says, battle, you have to talk to her, which I like better. I don't like that whole, oh, I suddenly see you, now we have to fight sort of mentality Pokemon has. It's kind of illogical, really. Like, it just eschews social norms. Just say, nope, if you see someone, you have to interrupt their life and force them to deal with you for the next 2 minutes. Not scared of you, Nidoran, female. I'm a fire type. And also, the male one's better anyway. Turns into Nidoking, although Nidoqueen is an awesome next in line for a great monster. See, the thing about me trying to get so much experience, I'm just going to level again, and it's going to be Wooper. Nope, not getting a Wooper. I refuse Wooper. Don't care if it's a water type. I'm not getting a Wooper. I have my dignity. Oh, I want to fight this guy. I will backtrack and get more experience, and we'll be like level 20 by the time we get to the end of this. Champer Roland. Ah, I love Nidoran. It's like my first monster I ever caught. First monster I ran into that I could catch back in the day. Such a good monster. But I can't have one here in honor of my Nidoking. Alas, poor Bryant, you were in the top 1% of Nidokings. Disappointing, yet expected. Back up this way. Go away, Bellsprout. Give me a Johto monster. That isn't crappy. Actually, Wooper's a pretty cool monster, I just really hate its design. I don't even hate Wooper's design, I hate its evolution's design. It just looks so derpy. No thank you. Besides, we're on revenge. We need cool, badass, dark, edgy monsters. We can't be walking around with a Quagsire. It just hurts our image. Fight me. Did you? Because I didn't. Alright, so you found some good monsters in the grass. Gordon. A Wooper is not a... Well, yeah, okay. Wooper's good. Its evolution sucks. That's gonna do, like, next to nothing because it's both a water and a ground type, I think. That actually could be potentially scary to me. But you're too low leveled for it to matter. I'm just gonna keep burning you to death. You stupid little tadpole thing? Maybe? What the hell is Wooper anyway? With its little taily doodle and its little, like, gill thingies. You thought wrong, Gordon. You thought wrong. Bum 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 ba da da da. I really like this song. It sounds kind of sinister. It's a great sort of, you're running into an opponent who you have to fight for your life. Also, that guy is wearing a really... Oh, that's a toque. I thought he was wearing a helmet when I was a kid. Shouts to toques. I have a toque. It's like the only hat I wear that actually fits my giant head. They're nice and they're comfortable. They keep your ears warm. I'm gonna Ember you because types are irrelevant when you have this many levels. Also, let's just be honest, Tackle would be about as effective. That could be a problem. Come on, Sin. No, you need to fight the enemy for revenge and stuff, remember? Not yourself. Unless this is one of those dark, gritty arcs where you must overcome your own darkness to become even grittier and edgier. In which case, carry on, because that is totally the tone of this adventure. We have plenty of potions, so we're just going to use one of those. I don't think I actually have a berry on Sin. We should fix that. Unless they get a crit, we should be okay. Confusion's gonna be the new poison. Every turn I'm just gonna hurt myself. It's not effective, but it gets the job done. And down you go, Goldeen. That's what you get for not being a catchable monster and also being a Kanto monster. We're only interested in monsters only available in Johto. Alright. I wonder how long it takes before Cinder learns Flame Wheel. I remember back in the day when I originally played Silver and a guy I knew took Gold and he picked Cyndaquil and I picked Bayleaf, or Chikorita, like a dumbass. He mentioned how great that Flame Wheel was, and after quitting that playthrough because Chikorita is terrible and going with Cyndaquil, I can agree, Flame Wheel is basically Cyndaquil's and later Quilava and Typhlosion's best moves. And I think it learns Flamethrower later, but Flame Wheel's just a neat move. Really effective from what I remember. They're all Magikarps. Every Pokemon game has one of these guys where all they have is Magikarps. They're a complete waste of time joke fight. I'm just going to use Tackle because I don't want to waste Ember on this. Okay, that's sobering. I can take out a level 5 in one hit with Tackle. That means catching monsters is going to be tough. I think we're at the point where we're just going to have to Hail Mary Pokeballs. Just in order to catch anything. Although that said, I'm pretty sure this is the game that introduced False Swipe, which allows you to catch monsters really easily. Or at least makes things a lot harder to kill in order to catch things. Seriously, whoever thought of creating False Swipe as an ability, you're level 15. Okay, fine. I will actually bother to use a fire attack on you. Just because stabs. But, seriously, whoever came up with False Swipe, brilliant, brilliant person. Because that really does alleviate a lot of the problems of, oh no, I've only used one monster, I really need to catch another monster. Why can I not catch anything? I'm too high leveled. I guess I have to start over. Or waste a lot of money on Pokeballs and hope. Okay, so you had 2 level 5s and a level 15. Why didn't you either lead with your best monster or finish with it? That's just weird to me. The person does not understand proper pacing. Sploosh! It's mom probably telling us she wasted our savings. She does actually get you some exclusive stuff, usually just decorations for your room, which I think there was only 3 you could get from your mom, and the rest you had to, like, trade to Pokemon Stadium 2, which was the 3rd Pokemon Stadium game. I have the first Pokemon Stadium game, the one no one remembers because it was only available in Japan, and only featured the Final Evolution monsters, so there was only, like, 30 or 40 monsters to pick from. It was kind of weird like that. Fascinating game, super cheap too if you got a N64 that can run imports, which, I mean, every N64 can. It takes like 15 minutes and a Dremel if you want to be really, really careful. But seriously, it's stupid how easy it is to mod an N64 to be region-free. And games are stupid cheap when you import them from Japan, especially N64, because no one wants to import N64 games. Yeah, well, they're Magikarps. They deserve to be turned into grilled fish. After how much time they wasted on my previous adventure trying to turn one into a Gyarados, screw that, I have no sympathy for Magikarps. I think we do run into a guy that has the old rod which will let you catch Magikarp sometime soon, but it's like, why would you bother? Seriously, that's one of the worst things in the game. It's like, it's a fishing rod that can only catch Magikarps. Would you like to have this tasty, nutritious Slowpoke tail? There should be a space in there and probably a dash. No, I don't want your, like, $1 million snack food that is also cruel to animals because you cut off their tails, asshole. Yes, I will heal my monsters to perfect health at the Pokemon Centre. Thank you for your waiting. Fight me. Yes, I beat Falkner. It was not a challenge. Okay, Peter, with your Pidgey. It's not like I liked Pidgeys or anything, no. That was someone else who was the very best, like no one ever was, but not me. No. That guy was quantumly killed by himself from another dimension. Oh wait, you don't know that, and that leads you to believe that I'm that guy. Nope, not me. No, I'm not out for revenge or anything, except I am Pidgey. But the Pidgey is too noble a monster for my quest for revenge. And also I have to respect my previous Pidgey. So I will never catch another Pidgey ever. Not edgy enough for us. That's a really long animation. I'm kind of impressed with that. That guy was selling the tails of Pokemon to be eaten. That's an entire arc in this game. Which is kind of a waste of time. It's like an entire dungeon. Because they're delicious and nutritious and they grow back, but it's still cruel to animals, so we're gonna stop them. Because we're now Pokemon PETA. Even though PETA already made some Pokemon games and they were all crap. Now, does this dungeon require you to use Flash? It does not, thus making Flash worthless. Let's keep going. Now, if I recall, if we came back on a Friday, and I think it's currently in-game a Thursday, and it would require us to surf, we could catch a Lapras. However, we don't have Surf. We can't catch a Lapras because it's a Kanto monster. And also, I don't want to. But it's a neat little event. I might come back and do it just out of the ability to show you. Oh no, this could actually be scary if you were close to my level and I didn't have a stab move. In fact, you could be a gym leader in a much less balanced Pokemon game. In fact, you could be the first one and have nothing that's effective against you before that. Oh wait, that happened. That's right. This game is way better than original Pokemon. I'll give that credit, but it's got its problems still. Actually, I was playing a little bit of a Pokemon ROM hack I got a copy of, a cartridge of, called Pokemon Ash Gray, which tried to be like the Pokemon anime. And I only played a little bit of it, but it seemed like it did away with HMs, and it actually tried to be really, really good and stuff. I've also seen that they've made a Pokemon Adventure, like the Pokemon Adventure manga that our whole playthrough is currently based on, kind of in a very loose sense, game. And I'm excited to try and find a knockoff cartridge of that, because that could be fun to play. I really like the Pokemon Adventure. Now, if I recall, this puddle to the south of us would lead us back to the Ruins of Alph, which leads us to another puzzle. It also allows us to run to Natus, which are, if I recall, really, really hard to catch in this game. But they're a psychic bird type, which is an interesting combination. We might go back just to catch one, just because I have no idea what I'm catching now. But, yet another example of all the really fun stuff in this game kind of being locked off until way later. Also, I'm gonna run out of embers. This is a problem. But you can grill rocks too. They grill just as easily as fish. Also, that animation is, I wouldn't say it's safe for a kid's game, I'm just gonna say that. I kinda get what they're going for, but it looks a little lewd to me. Now, if I recall, Geodudes were originally portrayed as being brown, but in this game they're gray for some reason. Which I think is a little weird. But, I think this cave is literally like one screen long. It's not half as bad as Mount Moon was in the previous game. Or, as all the kids I knew back in the day called it, Mit Moon, because I didn't understand that MT was an abbreviation for mountain. But, I'm pretty sure this is just one screen, as opposed to like 3 giant screens stapled together that take an hour and a half to get through. Hey, Wooper. I think this cave also features a weekly influx of a monster you can only catch then, and only if you fought a specific trainer and have their phone number. And occasionally they'll tell you, hey, this cave has a monster that's kind of rare, but I'm pretty sure it's Dunsparce, and I'm pretty sure Dunsparce is pretty crap, so... yeah. Fight me! Yeah, it's obnoxious. It's good this series is recognizing that. Supersonic is a piece of shit move. It's great for harassing people, though. Gavin! He looks like he was enjoying himself a little too much there. Eat fire. He then suddenly explodes into a million pieces because poison gas. I'm surprised that wasn't, like, super effective. That would actually make logical rock, paper, scissors sense to me. But, that's another monster gone. Well done, Sin. We are over-leveled. Oh well. It's this game's fault for not showing me neat monsters. Like Mareep. I really need to get off that, I know, but I'm just offended Mareep's not in this game. Like, weird. And seriously, it's like that, Remoraid, and Octillery. And those are all the Johto monsters you can't catch in this game. It's like, what? What's the correlation between those 3 things, and why did we have to, continue to not get Mareep when you could have gotten rid of a different monster? Take Pineco, take Heracross. Actually, I hear Heracross is great. Maybe I'll find out this time. I don't really want to. I've never had a taste for Heracross or bug types in general, except for maybe Scizor, and I've never had a chance to get one because you'd have to trade for it. And we all know how I am with people. No, thank you. I've never liked that mentality of you have to trade with friends to get everything in these games. And I get that part of it's just to sell more copies and link cables and accessories and Game Boys and stuff, but especially now, that just sucks because there's really no way to do it. Unless you happen to want to go out and buy all that stuff again. I mean, I still have my Game Boy link cable and stuff, but I don't know, it comes across as annoying in the long run. Another game that did that really, really well, and by well I mean I hate it with a passion, is the Medarot series. I love those games, but damn it, those are filled with that, and it's annoying. Like, the one we got in English that was actually like the Medarot games, Metabots 2, it quite famously did it in a way that really pissed me off, and the later games that continued the series after that point continued in that, there's two types of starting monsters, or robots. You get, one that uses swords and one that uses guns. And then later you run into lions and tigers, and if you pick the monster, or the version that had the robot with swords, you fight the cat that uses guns. But the thing that really pisses me off is both my top two favorite Metabot characters are both the Sword Lion Similodon and the Sword Beetle Rakusho, and I can't get either, and that pisses me off with a passion. Hey, it's Slowpoke, and that one has its tail, so it was not harvested. Hooray! For lack of animal cruelty on this Slowpoke. Also, it's a water type. I don't care. I have levels. But yeah, releasing multiple iterations of the same game with slight differences and requiring people to interact to get the full experience just sort of sucks. And there was a lot of games on the Game Boy Color that did that. There was the Hello Kitty monster raising RPG. Also, he looks crazy. He looks like Crazy Faulkner. There was the sequel to that, the SpaceNet games. There was the sequel to that, the Bug Sight games, all of which I own, by the way. Although, to be fair, I only have the complete set of both Hello Kitty games. I don't have the Full-Time Net or SpaceNet games. Or the SpaceNet and Bug Sight games. But that said, even though they're a pain in the ass to do that, and it's really hard to understand because they're only in Japanese, they're really fun games. I should make videos on them at some point. I've been wanting to, but I don't know. Maybe in the near future. But really, after Pokemon, the Game Boy was completely flooded with both games that tried to have multiple iterations of the same game that you had to buy multiple times, as well as monster raising games. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. Oh, Swift! That's a good move, but again, we only have one monster, so right now I'm going to hold on to that, I think. But we all know how good Swift is. Zubat. With all of its useless, it's everywhere and it'll confuse and waste your time glory. Hi to new person in chat. Okay, so still only one monster. We have got to get more. But my immediate go-to would have been Mareep, not in this game evidently. Just starting out, I'm in the cave after Violet. I just passed the area where you could theoretically get Mareeps if this wasn't Crystal. I just learned Mareep's not in this game. I'm horribly taken back by it. Because I wanted one, damn it. And I'm not allowed to catch non-Johto monsters because revenge and edginess. That's the whole story arc here, so yeah. I was hoping for Mareep. Yeah, well, I've only played for about 2 hours, so But, Flash! No! Flash is useless! That's why we're never gonna use it. Damn it. Stop being enticed by Flash. It's not worth it, guy. It's all a trick to make you think you actually earned something when you beat Faulkner. I do have a Discord. It's associated with my YouTube channel and only for people who support the channel's Patreon, though. Because it's one of the few things I can do to give back to my supporters. Alrighty. What do we got around here? Another Rattata. I mean, I guess we could use Togepi. I don't want to, though. I hate Togepi. Also, it's one of those crappy monsters that evolves with, like, friendship, and while that's a sweet concept, you have to add numbers to that to make it, you know, a game thing, and Togepi's terrible. And I think the only monster I ever bothered with was, Eevee. Oh, God. No, that's right. As a thing to help entice people to support my work, because this is basically what I do for a living, especially now that I'm unemployed, people who support my Patreon get invited to the channel Discord and can complain about imports and Pokemon and stuff. But that's just by virtue of I have to have something to really feel like I'm giving back at every stage of what little support I get, so... Unfortunately, if you want to get on my Discord, you do have to support my Patreon. I'm sorry about that, but that is just sort of one of the things I've had to find in order to feel like I'm giving back to the few people who really want to help me in my time of difficulty and support, like, the one job I've ever really been good at, playing video games. Now, I believe this is the guy. That's okay. You can always come comment on my channel or something later on YouTube. It's the same as my Twitch channel thingy. And this is going to be going up later today because I'm really behind on my content right now. I normally get these done in advance, but alas. Yeah, sure. I'd be willing to show up on someone else's Discord and talk about Pokemon, maybe. I'm not sure how active I'd be, but, if you want, feel free to leave it in the chat and I'll check it out later when I've got some time. Rock Throw! But I'm not scared, because Cinder is too edgy and badass, Geodude. It's not effective, and yet it gets the job done. God damn it, we have got to find some new monsters. Quick Attack! Yes, that will be a ridiculously useful move. As we've all learned through the first leg of my Pokemon adventure. I feel like I should get rid of Tackle, but I don't want Leer either. I got rid of Leer. I'll replace Tackle with something else later. Alright, I'll see about adding you when I'm done playing in a bit. And I'm rendering my video. Okay, so... no PP. Okay, Quick Attack. Low Kick! That's a low blow. Literally, it's in the name. Alright. What are we gonna do, Sin? We have got to get some allies in our adventure to kill ourselves from another dimension. Because that guy's an asshole. Is there any cool monsters here? Probably not. I'm still just floored Mareep's not in this game. Like, that seems like such an arbitrary removal. Like, it's that, I think, Remoraid and Octillery, like I said, and it's like, why those ones specifically? Just comes across as weird. Now I have no idea what I'm gonna do for my team because I can't use Kanto monsters. I really should have tried to catch a Hoppip earlier on, I guess. I refuse to use a Wooper. And of course, it being Johto, all the really fun monsters don't show up until after you, like, get halfway through the game. Because, I mean, I'd go for a Skarmory, sure. Oh, wait, I have to get, like, 80% the way through the first leg of the game? Oh, well, that sucks. Oh, this game's got Gligar, awesome! Oh, wait, that shows up the same place as Skarmory. Well, crap. It's unsafe to go in there. You look suspicious. And the fact that you're asking if you're good is also suspicious, guy. Favorite Pokemon? Probably Charizard, because it's what I started with way back in the day. Then probably Nidoking, Pidgeot, Gallade, Gardevoir, Mawile. Mawile got me to buy Pokemon Ruby instead of something else. And, going new school, I really, really like Silvally. I know he's a Team Rocket grunt. I'm quite familiar with Pokemon Gen 2, just not Crystal. But I'm pretty sure we have to go try and talk to the gym leader, but we can't go and do that because we have to go stop some Team Rocket guys from selling Slowpoke tails at an exorbitant price. This place is kind of neat, this little house here. If we were not playing on such a restricted time as we are, this would actually be pretty fun. Again, I'm not sure if this will actually be affected by transferring it back to cart off of the save memory of the RF, but this guy will take that thing we just got from that tree and he'll make a special Pokeball. And that's kind of neat. They can actually change the way you catch monsters a little bit. Unfortunately, well, it takes a full day to make a Pokeball, so I'm really not sure how well it's going to work, especially given how we've established the clock doesn't quite work in terms of returning save data to the cartridge from the RF, so I don't know. But I think this will be a good place to stop for the night. This is the Well of Despair and chopped up Slowpoke tails, where we're going to stop some evil criminals and slaughter them on our quest for revenge. So, I think we'll save here. At the about 2 hour mark, yes, we will save here. I will transfer this back to the cart off the RF, off screen, and we'll hopefully get the time and date settings changed. Maybe I'll make the egg hatch in the meantime, I'm not sure. I know there's a later egg we're going to get that I'd like to do that, but, if you like this and want to see more, feel free to follow the Twitch channel. Also subscribe to my YouTube channel where there's a lot more content waiting for you. And if you want to really help me out, check out my Patreon, support the show where you can, get on the Fansport Discord, and until next time, on our quest for gritty revenge to murder alternate dimension version of ourselves, I'll see you next time. Peace out, Internet.